Welcome to the Urbane Legend Christmas mini-series. Happy holidays. I'm driving away from my home this Christmas, 'cause I can no longer stand to see your faces. Yes, I'm driving away from my home this Christmas, and I've been using a fake identity so you won't find me. Well, I'm pretty sure the kids ain't mine, and I've given this all my time, but I'm driving away from my home tonight. Oh yeah. Hello and welcome to today's episode of Urbane Legends Christmas mini-series, where we have a look at some stuff about Christmas and see whether it holds water or not. We are currently on DJ Khaled's dirigible somewhere over international waters, over the North Atlantic Ocean at the moment. In case you didn't know who we are. I'm Chris Flynn, and with me, with his cup of codeine-based drink, is Mr.
Up Ochiet, Neil Urban.
How you doing, Neil? Having fun? Party never stops up here, does it, on the airship?
Getting a bit exhausting now, actually.
I've noticed that you've been spending a bit of time going into the butterfly sanctuary with different individuals. Have you been concluding some business deals for people back in Port Slades that you may have certain business interests with?
I've been, tying in a few interests.
Yeah? Profitable interests?
I've thought of it as ever.
As ever.
You've got to be lining your pockets, Chris.
Yeah, well, I've not managed to get anything going.
What's the old saying? If you don't like, God lines the pockets of those who line their own.
That's the one, yeah.
That's the one, isn't it? Yeah.
That's the one, yeah. God loves a con man, I believe.
Yes. God loves a grifter. Blessed are the grifters, for they will inherit the earth. Something like that.
Are there any deals that you can tell us about, or maybe hint at, or is this hush hush?
Are you in the market for some chimpanzee meat?
I think you already know the answer to that, Neil.
Right. Podcast will have a word.
All right, nice one.
Yeah.
With mate rates?
Yeah, you get a good supply.
Very good, very good indeed. So we're up here because Neil's bestest buddy in the whole wide world, DJ Khaled, invited us up for this boring period of Christmas. I mean, we did suggest to him maybe we could just hang around in Miami, and he said no.
Get the jet skis out.
Yeah, and he said no, we need to
up on the airship.
Up on the airship. We're men are men.
Yeah,
we don't want any distractions.
And show the sky what's what.
gonna poke the sky.
Teach gravity a lesson.
Teach gravity a lesson. And also, he finds that being 30,000 feet up actually improves his vocal performance, and he's currently working on a mixtape for the streets. So,
nice.
But he is so he's got an international courtroom in the centre here, in the centre of the airship, which
we're going to use to adjudicate on Christmas myths or things of that nature.
That's exactly it. And DJ Khaled himself is the one adjudicating. He won't speak though, because he's A, we can't afford him, and B,
mainly.
he's also saving his voice for the mixtape. So Neil, no further ado, let's dive straight into it.
Dive on in.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm worried that last episode we rambled a bit, really.
That'd be very unlike us, I would have
thought.
It
seems out of character.
A poorly structured, Neil thought out episode. We just talk bollocks. No. I don't think so.
No, but you know what? Maybe I dreamt it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, the lack
Christmas fever.
The lack of oxygen up here has led to some very strange dreams
and
quite a lot of muscle deterioration.
Well, it's all in the game.
It's all in the game.
as Snoop Dogg probably said once.
Yep, famous New Yorker Snoop Dogg.
Actually, he's in the billiard room, isn't he, having a joint?
He's in a billiard. No, he's quit. He's quit. He's just having a CBD joint.
Oh, is he? Did you read about his quitting?
Yes.
Yeah, it was all just a phase for him to, or a front for him to advertise smokeless wires or something.
Yeah.
Really naff advertising campaign.
But I really know, because it's quite funny, because his thing on Twitter says, it says, "I'm quitting smoking weed. We thank you for respecting our privacy at this time." Yeah, no, and then someone was like, "Oh, I think he's just doing this because he's just about to release something."
Yeah, smokeless grill or whatever it was.
Yeah. The smokeless grill. So quit smoking. Oh, right, yeah.
Well, no, it's just, I think it's like a garden fire, but they've got holes in the box that draws the smoke down or something. I don't know.
Well, I'd like to and then back up.
No,
the smoke's got to go somewhere.
I don't know.
Well, Snoop Dogg's, he was a straight A student at school, so I'm going to bow to his knowledge better than mine. He'll have us all sleeping on brick beds off the ground so we don't get eaten by smoking a locos soon.
Oh,
little callback there to our loco episodes for those who presumably haven't heard it.
Yeah, more than likely.
Come on, then, Neil. What are we doing? We're rambling again.
Right. Did Victorians invent modern Christmas, Chris?
Did Victorians invent modern Christmas? Pretty much.
There you go. Some say yes, some say no. We're gonna look to English heritage, who are obviously not going to have a biased view on this at all. Wander through, see what they say. So, Victorian Christmas traditions. Many of today's favourite Christmas traditions were popularised by Queen Victoria and the royal family in the 19th century. I mean, this is the one thing you see the trend on these articles. I mean, these things existed before, a lot of them.
Yeah.
They kind of became a bit more famous in England, which was obviously quite influential at the time.
So we're
Britain, I should say.
So I would say we're talking Christmas traditions in Britain and probably America. Probably the English-speaking world.
Well, that's the thing, is I don't.
But they have different traditions anyway in different parts of the world, don't they? There is.
Well, they do, and it would have been influential, in parts of the Commonwealth, I guess. I don't really know.
Was it in Spain? They have that Christmas log, that they feed.
That's awesome. We should inherit that. We should get that tradition. It's brilliant. Yeah, I think it's. I don't know if that's Catalonia specifically or if it's all over Spain, but but
different countries have different traditions. But we are specifically talking about British.
It's mostly kind of like British or anything.
Probably American as well, because they get trees and that, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of them is familiar. I mean, basically stuff that you'd see if you think
if you saw it in a film, you'd
Christmas
do it.
Movie, like a Western Christmas movie. That's what's that look like? You have Christmas trees,
sexy Santa,
yeah, fuckable Santa. We had that last week. Christmas crackers,
sexy elves,
yeah,
sexy
Mrs. Santa. Let's not forget about her as well.
Whoa,
yeah.
I don't mind if
had a hard time making presents around all year for one break. Gonna cut loose.
Sexy reindeers,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sexy Krampus. All the traditions.
What he can't do with a whip and chain.
What he can't do with a birch stick.
Yeah.
Ain't worth knowing.
And the rest of Santa's bad gang, you can go back to our series from last year if you want to explore the adventures of Santa and his biker gang or his rogue gallery, whatever the fuck.
I would say in some ways that series was slightly better thought through than this one.
Yeah. Well, I think we had probably a bit more time to prep it, but...
So come on then, Victorian Christmas. What's it all about?
What's it all about?
Come on. Look, I'll be honest with you.
Christmas goes back 2,000 years, mate. What's talking about? This stuff's got to go back, how many times that?
Look, I might not have done very well at school, but if you explain it to me, I'll understand. What's it all about?
Just let me know.
Just say it in a way that I can understand it.
Yeah. You don't do that in the next 10 seconds. I'm having your fucking kneecap, right? All right, calm down.
You're giving me
You
are giving me a blinder behind the eyes. Just tell me what it's all about.
I will. All right, yeah.
All right, well, fucking do it then.
Christmas inspired by royalty.
Got to go down the boozer.
If you shut the fuck up, hashtag up now. Okay, what's up, night?
All right, don't get shirty.
You're getting on my fucking tits now, son.
You're right.
Right, several traditions we know and love today are rooted in Germanic heritage, thanks to Queen Victoria's husband, Prince Albert.
Mm.
Now named after a piece of jewellery in your nether parts.
Down the
Down the down the hatch.
Urethra.
The prince who moved to England to marry the Queen, embraced his childhood traditions and introduced them to his family.
That's unusual, isn't it? These royals.
So
embracing your childhood traditions and showing them to your family.
No one but a royal could have done that.
Well, that's because they're kissed by God.
Basically, the Germans invented Christmas, I think, is what we're learning. In the early years of Victoria's reign, the royal family celebrated Christmas at Windsor Castle. However, after Albert's death in 1861, I believe that made us sad, the Queen began celebrating the festive season.
Do you know what, Neil? I believe that's the case. I believe she was famously sad.
The way this sentence is constructed, after his death, the Queen began celebrating the festive season at Osborne, the holiday home of the Isle of Wight. Something I don't really care, wasn't that bothered. No, well, famously, she grieved like years and years.
Yeah, she really loved it, didn't she?
Yeah.
That's nice, isn't it?
If that John Brown movie I saw was any indication.
Yeah. I wonder if I'll ever find a Victoria Albert style love, Neil. Do you think?
Numbers ain't looking good, Chris.
The numbers ain't looking good.
I've looked at the actuarial table, I'll be honest with you.
The stats are in and the forecast is
we're tending towards zero.
Yeah.
You never know. But you know what? We're not at zero.
Well, I mean, statistically we're not, but to all intents and purposes we are. Maybe I need to find myself a nice German prince.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean...
Potentially with a Prince Albert.
By that, yes. And by that, I mean a German prince in, like the musician impersonator.
Yeah.
Ich bin Prince. Ich bin is funky.
That's it like is... Nuff. Instead of on a guitar, he's doing it on a little or whatever, that Kraftwerk style keyboard. I don't know.
You.
Cool, that stuff. Anyway. Windsor Castle, dead husband. Continuing his festive traditions.
Yeah, come on, whatever. Skip to the good bits.
To the good bits. Let's get the juicy bits. After his death was a tangible way of keeping Albert's memory alive. It also inspired a nation.
So before that, they weren't bothered, but they felt a bit bad for old Empress of India.
And you start to see many of these customs of the private homes of Victorian England. I mean, I think it's probably more inspiring, kind of like middle-class people who were trying to pretend they're royal. But anyway,
this is the thing, isn't it? So back in them days, the royals were, do you know what?
They were like influencers.
They were the real influencers. And so people would copy what they did.
Because it was fashionable, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's all fashion, isn't it?
Well, that was kind of how Brighton became what it is from a seaside town, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Prince Regent come down, he's like,
George the
stick a gaudy palace on the seafront, and
it's nice though, isn't it?
I like the
pavilion's gorgeous.
You could do a lot worse.
You could. Did you know that the pavilion? So people who don't know, you can look it up or not bother. You can
it's quite a fascinating building.
Yeah, so it's it was called a pavilion because when they first built it, it was literally just kind of like a two-story sort of boring house. And then over the years, because he was a lad about town, really, he didn't really have any duties or anything. He was the prince, so he got architects to come in and made it into kind of an Oriental palace. And did you know that? So inside and everything, it's all kind of. I mean, like it's faux Oriental.
Well, the outside, it's faux. Yeah, I mean,
the outside's got minarets and big and sort of onion domes.
It's very inspired by Indian architecture.
But did you know that in
Chinese
in World War II, injured Indian soldiers.
World War
One was it?
Yeah, it was World War One.
Injured soldiers who were fighting for the Empire. They used the pavilion as a hospital because they thought, this looks Indianish, and the Indian soldiers, like at the time, it was council hands, right? But they thought that the royal family were putting them up in a palace, and so they were very, very grateful, and no one disbarred them of that. It's fair enough. Yeah. And there's just outside Brighton, there's a war memorial to all the Indian soldiers who fought in World War One.
Yeah, fair point. So, decorating Christmas trees. Christmas trees are Christmassy, aren't they? They're the name.
It's in the name, isn't it?
So, decorating trees at Christmas was a festive activity popularised by Prince Albert. Inspired by his heritage, i.e. Germans did it first, trees in the royal household were adorned with lit candles and trinkets, and the interior...
Oh, that's a fire risk.
Decorations. I mean, it probably was, wasn't it?
It's a fire risk, Neil. What are they doing?
What I'm thinking. It just goes to show.
Well, they could probably just have a footman watching it, couldn't they?
Exactly, yeah.
But what about the middle-class people?
Well, they're
all going to perish.
Asphyxiate or burn to death.
Yeah, well, there we go.
That's what you get for trying to,
Yeah, get above your station.
Yeah. Victorian Albert weren't the first royals to put up what we know today as a Christmas tree. George III, I think that was the Prince Regent. No. Married Queen Charlotte, who, like Albert, was raised in Germany. You'll find this with most of the royal family. Charlotte is credited with bringing decorated evergreen trees to England when she introduced their first Christmas tree at Queen's Lodge, Windsor in 1800. Victorian Albert is so closely linked to the tradition because they were famously illustrated standing beside a decorated tree with their children. And it was his engraving that was published in the press and took hold of the national imagination.
I mean, like there was,
So they popularised it rather than inventing it.
Imaginations weren't what they are now, were they, in those days?
We didn't have TV.
Standing by a tree. Whatever next? And in a tree in your house?
Well, exactly. That's the point, Chris.
Yeah.
It's indoors.
It's indoors.
Has the world gone mad?
I can only assume so.
Modern Saturnalia, like we was covering yesterday. Everything's just turned upside down. I don't know
next?
What to believe.
What's next? A chair outside?
Yeah. Might as well.
What
Thus the modern world was born.
That's, of course, what kicked off the Renaissance of the Puritans.
Yeah. And here's what I didn't realise. So turkey or festive bird for dinner. So I thought this was more of a modern thing and it was just like cheap meat from America.
Yeah, because turkeys...
They're like Thanksgiving traditions.
Turkeys aren't like... Then, I mean, I don't know if they ever were, but they're certainly not wild to the UK.
Oh, no, they're not at all. But, well, they're not wild to the UK. They're imported from America, but then so is, so are potatoes, tomatoes, Christ knows what else.
Yeah.
So the list of that's pretty long. But, I had thought like goose, because you read like Dickens and stuff, and it's a goose that Tiny Tim goes at, or whatever he gets for Tiny Tim's table or whatever, and all of that jazz.
Swan.
Yeah. Yes, swan, obviously. That's what they would have been. Yeah, beef.
Ostrich, that's a good one.
Kangaroo. Nice, popular.
Nice lean meat.
And Captain Cook had been over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But according to this, like many of us, Victorian Albert enjoyed turkey at Christmas time.
Mm.
They would sit together as a family for their main meal and enjoy turkey with all the trimmings. As you would expect, the royal family were fortunate to share in several courses.
Wow.
These would include mince pies, plus various starters. See, starting with mince pies, that's a mistake in my opinion.
Well, that's because you're a cuck.
Yeah, well, there you go. Must be.
You're a food cuck.
I've outed myself there as
you've
cucked myself.
You've cucked yourself. You're a food cuck. You think you've
I can't handle a mince pie before you starters.
You've fallen into line with savoury, sweet.
Yeah. So mince pies.
You can have it in whatever order you want, Neil. Don't let them tell you what.
Look, I don't. Whatever. If that's what people like, you do what you want.
When I go to a restaurant, I order a dessert, a main, starter, dessert, main, starter, dessert, starter, aperitif.
That's what you want. What people want to do, if they want to have a plate piled with turkey and Christmas pudding with gravy all poured on top, that's up to them. I'm not bothered. Anyway, so turkey chipolatas, they may indulge in a plum pudding to satisfy the royal sweet tooth. The food overall was very rich and could include beef or even bull's head, as well as a selection of cold meat. That's the one thing I do find the Christmas dinner is quite heavy in it. I've never got room for Christmas pudding, really.
So I don't know what you have for your Christmas meal, though.
So I normally do like a starter, like, I don't know, prawn cocktail, because we're
smoked salmon. We have smoked
salmon,
smoked salmon and prawn, yeah.
Yeah.
Seafood starter.
Then turkey with trimmings and
No, we have beef.
Yeah.
Beef now, because neither of us really like turkey, so we started getting a rib of beef because it's the nicest one, and it's like once a year.
And it's more traditional.
Get a grass-fed one.
Yeah.
Like, so it's had a good quality of life.
Yeah. Good quality meat as well.
And then, Yorkshire puddings, roast potatoes, pigs in blankets, veg assorted.
Roast parsnips?
Roast parsnips, roast carrots, and then normally
roast sprouts?
No, not for me, but my mum will have some. But green beans, have some of them, and then gravy.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, this is it. This is all really interesting stuff. Yeah.
Bread sauce?
No bread sauce.
Not a fan of bread sauce. So naturally, finances influence what families could put on their Christmas tables, and the majority of people in Victorian England were not wealthy. Imagine that.
Well, surprising, isn't it? It's unlike today.
Yeah. Where possible, a festive bird remained central to a family dinner, and for many, this would have been
a sparrow.
No, a goose, apparently.
A goose? Goose are cheap, are they?
Well, having said, the one thing I do remember
geese are big. I mean, like I could imagine.
I think middle class families would have been having goose. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I suppose you'd just have chicken, wouldn't you?
You'd think. Well, chicken was very expensive back in the day, but
really,
I mean, one thing.
What, more than goose?
Well, no, I'm not saying more than goose. Although the thing is, like chickens, you have to rear, don't you? Whereas geese, are wild.
All right, so you just go poach yourself one.
You could do, I guess. I don't know. So I don't know, but apparently, according to this,
Otterland. Would they just have some Otterland?
Yeah.
That's poor people.
Put your head over a towel to hide your shame.
Have some Otterland.
It doesn't sound very. Yeah, I've never tried it, but I don't think I could.
Oh, really? Do you surprise me? Actually, well, that's weird. You've not had a £50,000 a plate Otterland.
Yes.
Oh,
I got all filled up with bird's nest soup, unfortunately.
Did you?
Yeah, and beluga caviar.
Yeah,
eaten off of a mother of pearl.
Yep, and a dolphin's fin. Yeah.
So some even joined a goose club so they could pay in instalments throughout the year.
Yeah.
For some reason, that really reminds me of Arthur from EastEnders stealing the Christmas club money.
Yeah, it reminds me of what we used to do when I remember my mum doing it when I was a kid. Is in the co-op, you used to be able to get like books, and you would, when you were until you'd say, can I get a couple of stamps? Because you had like a couple of quid spare, and you put them in the book, and then each book would be worth like 25 quid, and you do that throughout the year for your Christmas. Yeah, for your Christmas shop.
What a lot of people do with the reward cards these days.
Do they?
Yeah, save them up all year. Well, I remember, actually, I say these days.
Do you know what I've got?
Back when I worked in a supermarket, which was about 500 years ago.
Not longer than that.
Yeah, people would just save those all year and then use them to pay for Christmas dinner.
So the thing is, because reward cards these days, because of greedflation, offer you so little rewards, that would probably work maybe once every 3 years now. Because I think with Tesco's, you get £1 for every £100 spent.
Oh, it was always that. It was always that.
Well, I mean,
1%. But if you do that all year round,
I mean, I mean, how much have I got? I'll have a look now. It's interesting, isn't it? No. Club cards.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Oi. Can't figure out. They're hiding it from me. Voucher 6.
Right, doesn't matter.
I've got £19.50 in vouchers.
Yeah, there you go.
Fuck all, is it?
I've got £562.55.
That would get you a tin of Heinz ravioli.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
A small one.
Yeah, if you go in with a few friends.
Mostly sauce, isn't it? Right. Today most Christmas meals are centred around a main joint turkey, and the modern feast is perhaps not dissimilar to the Victorian Christmas.
No,
I did not realise that turkey dinners were Victorian. I thought that was more modern, actually.
Okay, there you go.
But they must have imported it from America because obviously you've got Thanksgiving tradition, etc. So there you go. I mean, it doesn't say why they decided on turkey, because I would have thought goose would have been more the thing, but there you go. Giving gifts, that was invented by the Victorians, Chris.
Is the turkey just bigger?
Yeah, I think that's the idea, is you can feed more people with it. And the thing is that they probably had access to the sort of high quality stuff.
Yeah.
And
Giving
obviously
gifts.
you've got like cooks who can, yeah. But anyway, giving gifts. Giving gifts at Christmas wasn't a tradition the Victorians introduced. Oh, there you go.
I didn't think it was.
They certainly made it part of their family festivities.
Ooh.
Presents were shared on the evening of Christmas Eve rather than Christmas Day, as is traditional in the 21st century. In the royal household, Queen Victoria insisted unwrapped presents be spread across the tables as they did with royal birthdays. There are references in her diaries about the gifts she gave and received at this time. They famously gave each other jewellery, probably stolen from other countries.
Yeah, of course.
Works of art, sculptures, paintings, probably stolen from other countries.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. You're not putting your hand in your pocket.
I don't think they went down Ratner's and got a nice pair of earrings. There you go, girl. There you go, Vicky.
No, it was stolen off a Hindu idol.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, the eyes are made of rubies.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Don't mind if I spend a bit of time on my own with it, do you?
Yeah. Often the children and grandchildren would give the Queen things that they would have made themselves, like paintings, embroidery, or handicrafts.
Useless. Straight in the fire.
Yeah, down the salt mines with those fuckers. Poorer Victorians would have been forced to live within their means.
Yeah,
Elaborate tables filled with gifts may not have been adopted by a more modest Victorian family, but the concept of sharing gifts as part of the annual celebrations. So they could, read about gift giving and stuff like that.
You could read about it. You could maybe afford some peanuts.
Yeah,
literally.
There's a Satsuma. You join a Satsuma club, paying into all year installments.
Get a segment each for everyone on the street. Everyone in your tenement.
Tiny Tim gets the skin.
Fight off scurvy for a week.
Oh, I held on to that teeth for a month longer.
So I think what I'm hearing here is so very similar to today. Christmas really does separate the haves from the have-nots.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I'm going to quickly whiz through the other ones because I think we're probably getting up to time. So, a pudding with a twist. Queen Victoria's Christmas was not complete without a little tipple. She liked a bit of booze, did Vicky?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and it's very possible. Do you reckon she drank? There must be a gin named after Queen Victoria, something like that.
I don't think so.
No, that's surprising, isn't it? There's no booze named after Queen Victoria.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm surprised by that. There you go.
There we go.
Neil making things up in his head and then realising they're wrong. Little tip. Well, people should have laced her pudding with a drop of that. It's very possible. So just pure speculation, apparently.
Yeah, probably.
And then
she probably dunked her turkey leg in a pint of Guinness. Probably. Yeah. Why not?
I mean, they just say they were on the royal dessert menu at Osborne. It's referenced by Dickens as a treat enjoyed by regular Victorians, served with a kind of sauce, perhaps an English custard, or creme anglaise. No, it's custard.
No, it's just as custard.
Much like we do today.
Right, so I mean, so much so far so similar.
Yeah.
But I think for me, probably the person who, rather than people reading in the papers, Victoria's standing by a tree, I think the person who popularised the Christmas traditions, kind of pulled it all together, was probably Charles Dickens, because he was a very popular writer.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe that's where people got a lot of it from, rather than from the Queen. Yeah, he might have got it from that, but I think that Dickensian Christmases are kind of what people aspire to now, but without the horror.
I think A Christmas Carol was probably, and he would have been a bit before Victoria, I think, because I don't know, when did she ascend to the throne?
No, he wasn't.
Well, I think Christmas Carol was published in about 1840.
Yeah, she was in charge by then. For sure.
Yeah, 1819. Okay, fair dues. Oh no, she was born 1819, so she reigned for 63 because she reigned until 1901.
She got in quite young, didn't she? Like our dear old Elizabeth.
Fairly recent. So she did get in quite young, but it would have been in the 40s. So they would have been around about the same time.
Yeah. So I think he popularised it because people would have more read his books than they would have known about the ins and outs of what's going on in Windsor Castle.
Entirely possible. or from Christmas Carol anyway. Gifts of gratitude. So she also invented charity, Chris. There you go. So running large country estates with servants isn't something many of us are familiar with today. Speak for yourself. As Queen, Victoria's royal homes like Osborne were coordinated by a team of servants, and Christmas was an opportunity to show gratitude.
Just give us some money.
She was, well, listen, she was very involved with her servants, and she took a maternal interest in their well-being.
Oh, fuck, a micromanager.
On Christmas Eve, the royal family would join them in the servants' hall to share gifts, which would include books, clothing, and food.
But, Mum, I can't read.
It was so important to the Queen. Mum, I'm illiterate. They're in school.
Mum, I've been in your service.
That's why I'm your servant.
Mum, I've been in your service since I was 5, and you never allowed me to read.
Mum, I have no eyes.
you
replaced them with currants.
And my nose with a carrot.
So important to the Queen.
Victoria's unusual torture methods was actually what inspired the Snowman.
The Saw movies.
Yeah. The Saw movies.
Did the Victorians invent modern horror? Turns out they did.
Yeah, did they invent Gorno? The answer is yes.
Pinhead was based on Prince Albert, famously. Yeah.
It was Prince Albert's penis.
Yeah. The Cenobites were all his mates. This act of gratitude was so important to the Queen that she did it before her and her own family opened their presents.
Oh, yeah. Well, because every day's fucking Christmas if you're royal, isn't it? Oh, great, more presents.
Yeah, you're not exactly waiting for I. Today, charity is an important component of community life, and giving thanks is often incorporated in Christmas tradition, even if we don't have servants to thank. So there you go, Chris, a Victorian Christmas.
I'll clap the NHS.
Yeah. Clap them and then get really annoyed when they want to pay us.
Yep. Okay, so here we go. What do you reckon, my lord?
I throw myself on the mercy of the adjudicator.
He has said guilty as charged. The Victorians did invent the modern Christmas.
There you go, myth upheld. Or
myth upheld. He's
fact now.
Fact now. Put it in your books.
The Khaled fact.
Put it in your read-along books, which I'm assuming you've all bought. You can buy it
now
online.
Going to be on the curriculum. Teach that in schools.
Lovely. All right. Well, with that, just go.
Yeah.
See you later.
See you later. We're off to pool party again.
Yeah. Bye.
Goodbye.
Driving away from my home this Christmas. A man down the pub said he could get me a job in the merchant navy. Yeah. Guess driving away from my home this Christmas. I've had all the supermarket loyalty points transferred to your name. That's right.